What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is having a great afternoon. We are back, the Scoop and Brandon show. Brandon, it's been a little while. I'm actually really excited to get back on live with you, man. We've missed out on a ton of stuff. I mean, the Miami Hurricanes basketball team's in the Elite Eight. They made it, and they lost to Kansas. Jason Taylor's on staff. We added Charlie Strong. Coach, I think Jamil Adai, I think he's already been there on staff when we did our last show, but still, the program has never been. I can't recall the last time we've been this on top. I think in sports, it's been a little while.
You call this on top? I call it just a good
Well,
start.
well, you're right. I'll give you that. But Elite Eight basketball, come on, that's a good start.
You know what? I'm proud. I'm proud of our boys, man. I'm proud of them. I can't even lie. Like they want me a little money too. So I'm proud of the
Oh,
boys, man.
so I honestly thought the way they played against USC, they only made 2 3-point shots, 2 out of 14. We were in foul trouble. Our leading scorer, Wong, was out 5 minutes left in the second half. We were up by 7 points. They scored 6 points in 8 seconds, USC. I thought we were going to lose the game, honestly, because we didn't play well at all. And then we had Auburn the next round. I thought it was going to be a wrap, and we beat them by 18. I was amazed.
Well, the USC game, I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was a toss up. You know what I mean? Because what we did good, they also did good. And they had couple more, top recruits than us. So I actually thought that game was a top up, but the Auburn game, I knew we was gonna beat them. Like
Really?
I knew we was gonna beat them. It was only one team in the SEC that worries me, and that was Alabama.
Okay. Oh, wow. They lost early, too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was happy to see that.
Yeah.
I was happy because earlier in the year they beat us by 30.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. They did.
But we was a different team than we were then, though. So,
100%.
but yeah, Alabama was the team that kind of scared me when it came to the way we was playing.
But hey, nonetheless, man, hell of a season getting down to the Elite Eight. I mean, something the basketball program has never done in the history. So big shout out to the basketball team. But Brandon, have you ever seen a staff like this at Miami since you can recall, maybe to your playing days? I mean, we got Jason Taylor on staff. Supposedly, we might even add Ed Orgeron. I'm just saying that. We added his son on board. If he wants to come on in the analyst role, he can come on down as well.
Nah, it ain't gonna it from what I have been heard and talking to people, Ed is not gonna join, but he is going to help.
Okay.
Like he gonna be down there, he gonna help out, he gonna be in and out. He just gonna be there to help. So but he won't join. But that's even better for us because one less person we got to pay with more help. That's even better.
Exactly.
I'm loving it. So what you think about the coaching staff?
I think it's very good. I honestly do. I'm curious how the offense is going to be with Josh Gaddis because, there's kind of this theory maybe Jim Harbaugh was, calling the plays offensively in Michigan. Was it fully Josh Gaddis? How much say did he have to do with the play call? Also, we have a lot more speed than Michigan. Michigan plays a lot of power football. We're a lot faster as a program overall. We have a better quarterback with Tyler Van Dyke. We have very good running backs. Our O-line's going to improve. So what kind of offense are we going to see from Josh Gaddis? That's what I'm curious about. I love adding Charlie Strong. I mean, his resume speaks for itself. He was the head coach at Louisville, head coach at Texas. He was a defensive coordinator with Urban Meyer. I mean, hell of a resume. And he's only coaching linebackers. He's not even our defensive coordinator. We got Coach Kevin Steele. We have amazing recruiters on board as well. We added Hall of Fame edge rusher Jason Taylor as an analyst role, who was previously coaching at St. Thomas Aquinas High School. That's a pipeline connection right there. A lot of the players at St. Thomas Aquinas defensively were under his supervision as a coach. So they already have a relationship with him, and they're in Broward. They're right next door. So I think this is great.
So what are they going to do with Ed?
I don't want to point the finger. I think Ed, per se, I think he was associated with the program previously. I think he's just going to be around the program and just, hey, I'm here. What's going on? If a recruit needs a phone call. Ed will make a phone call. If a recruit's on campus, Ed is near campus. I think Ed Reed will greet the recruit, and just be personable. I think that's going to be his role.
So what Jason Tatum doing again?
Analyst role, helping out with the DNs. I think it's a connection for St. Thomas Aquinas.
What exactly do you mean analyst role? I'm confused. Help me out with that.
So when I interviewed Coach Ed Patton, me and my co-host Ross, it was a couple Sundays ago, and his role was an offensive line analyst role. He's helping analyze basically offensive line film from practice, recruiting as well, evaluating players. That's his job, is to help Coach Mirabal with the offensive line, really.
Coach. Okay. So basically he just gonna be like the details guy.
Basically, help out with recruiting, coach up any defensive ends. I mean, he is a Hall of Famer at the end of the day.
I agree. I agree.
Maybe Joy Taylor will come on campus, you never know.
Yeah, it sounds all good, but so I always been, if it's too many cooks in the kitchen, nothing gets done.
I hear you on that.
So now, hold on. Let me back up just one step. Now, I absolutely think Cristobal, Mario, whatever y'all want to call him, I'm gonna call him Coach. I'm gonna call Coach. I absolutely think Coach can handle as many cooks in the kitchen as he wants. He has the personality and the leadership to do that. But when you start talking about adding alpha dogs like Warren Sapp, Jason Taylor, Ed Reed, you know what I mean? These are alpha dogs, like alpha of alpha dogs. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, you can't talk to them any kind of way and they say, oh, all right, let me agree with this. You know what I mean? You can't talk to them any kind of way.
Right.
So what happens then?
I agree with you. Let's say Charlie Strong and Kevin Steele get in a feud about the defense. Charlie Strong or Kevin Steele has an ego about how linebackers should be, playing correctly. Charlie Strong sees a different perspective and they go at it. Maybe
hold on. See, no, I'm not talking about that because Steele is the D coordinator.
Right.
Charlie Strong is a linebacker coach. Bruh, shut the fuck up, and it is what it is. Like, that's what that situation would be. Just move out the way. I'm talking about Jason Taylor and Cristobal step down on Jason Taylor. Like, what now, dude? Because Jason Taylor ain't gonna tuck his tail. Now, Steele will tuck his tail and say, you know what? Yeah, maybe you're right. All right, let me look at it this way. He would tuck his tail because Cristobal is the head man and his ego is a lot bigger. You know what I mean? But Jason Taylor, his ego ain't a lot bigger than Jason Taylor.
Fair.
It's like it'll be more like Nick Saban hiring Bill Belichick.
Right.
Like, you can't how you gonna step down on Bill? You know what I mean? When Bill was the best ever at what he did. So if Mario trying to step down on Jason Taylor about about D-line, he gonna be like, yo, like, how the fuck are you gonna tell me this? You see what I'm saying?
Well, Coach Salavea is going to be the D-line coach, and then the assistant's Jason Taylor.
I agree.
I don't think there's going to be much feud, honestly. I really don't. I think honestly, everyone's going to come together. Everybody wants to make the University of Miami better than it was previously. And I think they're going to go out and win a lot of football games. I think it's going to be a good staff, a complete staff, and everyone's going to be on the same page. Anything could happen during the season after a loss or two losses.
Right. I agree. And honestly, like, from what I'm hearing, you know what I mean? From what I'm hearing through the streets, is, yo, my man practiced like this in years. You know what I mean? They said it looked like when we was there practicing. They said, yo, people hidden and people out there, talking and practice live like it used to be. I'm like, yo, y'all serious?
I've always wanted to do this, Brandon, right? I feel like whenever there's a new coaching staff, there's always, comments made from the players, from people I practice. There's just more energy. It's more tempo. Players are more locked in. I felt like I remember this one briefly. I was listening to 560 WQAM. This was the last year of the Orange Bowl. I think Javaris James was interviewed, and he said, "This is a different team, man. We're more focused this year. We're a lot better as a program. Everyone's buying in," and then they go like 7-6, 6-7, whatever their record was last year. The Orange Bowl.
You want
You
me
know
to
what
tell
I
you
mean?
why? You want me to tell you why?
Hit me.
Because when the coach first get there, you do be all locked in.
Right.
But then people fall back into their old habits. So the stuff you was doing when you first got there in spring, like people ain't doing that no more. You know what I mean? And that's why I say Cristobal actually he absolutely has the charisma and power and finesse to make it work. But like you're only as good as your assistants, and his assistants around him is very good from what I see.
All right, let's take a short break. Jay Vickers wants to know a good wing place. I think I got the right place in mind. We'll be right back. Wings, wings, wings. The best chicken wings outside of the Orlando area off of 452 North Park Avenue, owned by Miami Hurricanes football legend himself, Brandon Meriweather. If you love chicken wings, you're going to love Wings, 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 owned by the man himself, NFL veteran, Brandon Meriweather. Got to check it out. Once again, Wings, Wings, Wings off of 452 North Park Avenue in Apopka, Florida. All right, we are back. So I was thinking about this, Brandon. A lot of former players coming down at practice. You got Warren Sapp, Edgerrin James, Rohan Marley. Everyone's coming down. Tolbert Bain was at practice, obviously. Rupert Bain is a big 4-star recruit out of Miami Central. He had like 29 sacks this past
I
season.
know, I seen that. That's ridiculous.
Literally, it's crazy. Why don't you come down to practice? You cater a practice and it's wings, wings, wings. Talk to Mario.
For one, because I would have to bring so much stuff down there to actually cater it. And if I had a location in Miami, I would do it. But the fact that I would have to bring this stuff 3 hours, and set it up and then cook it and do it, it'll be too much. You know what I mean? Now, as for me coming down for a practice, I am.
Oh,
I just don't want to see spring unless it's the spring game.
Yeah.
You feel me? I don't like watching spring practice. Like spring practice, you get your hopes up. You look at guys, they look good. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's simple installs. You know what I mean? It ain't real.
Yeah.
Like
especially, I felt a lot of starting players this year out for spring practice too.
I want to see camp. That's what I want to see.
Who?
I want to see camp when they go into camp. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. What's the mentality? Going into spring practice from a player perspective, Brandon?
The fine tune. So it's different for everybody. But mine, whenever I was going into spring or off season, it was always to fix the things that I did bad, or not necessarily did bad, but get strong in the things that I didn't do as good. Like if I, at the ending of the year, I was, not, if I ain't have as much power, then I would squat more and power clean more. So throughout the end of the year, I could have the power that I want. If hold on, man, my son, hold on, give me 1 second.
Gotta love it, man. We got Brandon Meriweather. Brandon Scoop Show. It's back live. We're kicking it back up. We're gonna have some great guests coming on as well. Brandon, we're good?
Yeah, we good. My son was trying to get downstairs and they were stopping him, so he got mad.
There you I'm telling you, he's gonna play in the league one day.
He might. I hope so. I hope he play
That's
in
the
Miami,
mentality.
so then I have a reason to move down there. You know what I mean? No, but so for me, like I would watch film of myself from January to, you know, February, March, and I would critique myself. And everything that I felt like I did bad, that's what spring ball would be for me. Like I would go in, I work on covering, I work on eyes, I work on, hand placement. I would just do that the whole spring until somebody made me mad, and then I, try to kill them. But other than that,
So you're trying to work on your weak points.
yeah,
I'm curious because I feel like during the spring there's always a player that does really well
it
during the
is.
spring, in the spring practice, in the spring game, but when the season comes, they don't do anything. It's every year.
That's because
Every year.
so spring is 15 practices.
Okay.
Like it's not hard to lock in for 15
Right.
practices. But the season is hard to lock in when it's first off it's 25 practices before you even come to your first game.
Right.
Then you got, you got the heat of the sun in the summertime, you know what I mean? Granted, it's supposed to be hot all year in Miami, but springs feel a lot better than summer. You know what I mean? Like it's people can't focus on all of the things that they focus on. Like that's just it's just like that. Like we had a player named, Marcus Maxey.
Marcus Maxey. Wow. I
Every
haven't heard that name in a while.
every year in spring, he climbed the depth chart. 1, 2, you know. Then camp, he have a couple mental bruhs, you know what I mean? And until his last year he got it together and he actually played good. But other than that, yeah. And he was super athletic and everything.
Who was a really bad practice player, but during the game it was just a 180?
Me.
You? Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was terrible at practice. Like my problem is like I don't like to go unless I'm going hard.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? And if I'm not having fun doing it, then I'm not gonna go hard. But then in the game I could mentally get like, all right, let's go. Like I could
Yeah.
mentally tell myself, all right, let's go. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that was just me.
So I got to fix my background real quick, but before I ask this question, Brandon, we're going to cut to a break, but I want you to think about this before. I'm going to ask you, I want the viewers to let this sink in before we cut to a break. Can the Miami Hurricanes dominate in 2022? Remember, we got a full new coaching staff year one, but can they dominate? We'll be right back.
Us to compete also in matters of life.
How you doing, buddy? You don't show my word.
Well, you might be in trouble today. Tom today is the best quarterback ever. But the Tom his rookie year wouldn't be the Tom today without him. So I would say you can't have fun without him. It killed my career. Like I hate to say it like that, but that is actually what killed my career. It changed everything for me. Like I couldn't, like the way I was taught was if the head died, the body died with it.
So the $1 million question, Brandon. We got a first year coaching staff. It's a very good staff. But once again, it's a winnable season. You got Clemson. It's the only toughest conference opponent. Texas A&M doesn't count. They're non-conference. Can we win the Coastal? Can we finally dominate and win our first ACC title? It's about time.
Yes. I wholeheartedly feel like we could. But from the chats that I've been having with, people who go to practice all the time and people who, live down there who actually, seeing what's going on, is that we need more explosion from the receiver group. So I'm hearing that, every other group looks amazing, but the receiver group don't have any explosion and don't have a true number one receiver.
I agree. I feel like we have a lot of guys who can play on the inside, produce as role players in the rotation. I think Restrepo is a great role player utilizing the inside. I think Jacoby George, Brashard Smith, these are all, speedsters. They can make plays for you. But I don't think we're going to lose Charleston Rambo. And I think he was a real X factor. And that connection he made with Tyler Van Dyke was just phenomenal. I mean, it was like pitch and catch every time. And he made a lot of great catches I don't think a lot of receivers can make.
Every year it's going to be a receiver that step up as, the top guy. Like, for instance, when Santana Moss and Reggie Wayne left, people said the same thing. But then Andre Johnson stepped in. You know what I mean? And you had little J-Boy and you had, KP, all them out there, and then he left and you had Roscoe Parrish step up. You know what I mean? Like, it's always like that. And you know what I mean? But the thing is, like, if you watch them guys in practice, you would have said, man, we just waiting on them to turn it on. Like, I don't know if that's what people is waiting on. They looking and saying, hey, man, we got guys, but I'm just waiting on them to see them if they turn it on or not,
Right.
Like the dude, I think he number 0 or something, the receiver.
LaMelo Benson. Yep. Northwestern.
Right. From what I hear, like, he's an animal.
Okay.
He's a sometime player. Like, he don't play hard all the time.
Interesting. He made an incredible catch against Central Connecticut State.
Correct.
But I think he dropped one in the chest against Michigan State.
Right, but Eric, listen, see, and that's gonna be the thing. Like, we got such young guys at receiver to where, like, it's gonna have to be somebody who step up. Like number 7, the little dude, the receiver. What's his name, man?
Number 7, Xavier Restrepo.
Yeah, Strepo. Like him. He gonna be like Braxton. Like, he'll step up, he'll be a guy, but then again, you're gonna have like 3 other people who we step up and be like, oh, like, I didn't realize he was that good. Because Tyler Van Dyke gonna have to find somebody he loves. He got to.
I think you need your 3 receivers, right? I think you need your guy on the outside, your deep ball threat. I think you need kind of that. Look, 3 to 4 yards, seam route, maybe a quick down and out, someone who's a possession receiver. And then you need someone who makes the first man miss every time, a speedster where you throw a screen pass and he's gone. He can take it to the house. He's capable of doing it. I think those are the 3 guys you're missing. And then your tight end's a plus. I think if you have a good tight end, that's just adding to the mix. And I think that's a recipe for success.
Right, but don't be surprised if the little young tight end from IMG come in and kill it. You know what I mean? Like, then we might end up having a team like Kansas City, where the tight end is the main factor and everybody else is, pushing.
Were you there for that drive against West Virginia when Kellen Winslow took off?
Yeah, that's the game I got ran over.
He made that one-handed catch. Like, it was like he didn't just make a one-handed catch. Like, it kind of reminded me of Michael Jordan's Space Jam, low-key. I mean, like, he went up for it.
Yeah, that's the game I got ran over, and it changed my life. That's the game.
Really? You changed as a player?
Changed my life. Yes, I got ran over that game. It's all right. I was 155 pounds, man, soaking wet. You know what I mean? Starting. But hey, you know, what can I say?
MC Binks, he cheered you up, man. $5 donation. He says, Brandon, I'm coming to the U this year, bro. Love the show. Much love to the both of y'all. Also, any chance can we get Brandon Ennis, Jalen Brown? Seems more likely. So, if you're not familiar, Brandon, I can tune you in about Brandon Ennis and Jalen Brown.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
Okay. So Jalen Brown attends Gulliver Prep in Pinecrest. It's like 5 to 10 minutes from Coral Gables.
Oh, you talking about the little dude that went to Sean T school?
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think I know who you're talking about. I think I know who you're talking about.
He kind of resembles Devontae Smith, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And Brandon Ennis, he's thick. He's on a little bit. He's like 6'1", 6'2", but he's 200 pounds. He's a thick receiver. I mean, he's strong.
Yeah, but he fast too, from what
He
I
can
hear.
play quarterback. He can play receiver. Honestly, I think you put him at running back. He can play running back as well. He's that good of an athlete offensively. He's just a playmaker.
So, what's the chances of us getting them?
So Jalen Brown was recruited by Josh Gaddis at Michigan. He took a visit there at Michigan while Josh Gaddis was the OC. Now he's down in Miami. He's in Gulliver. You got the University of Miami pipeline there. I think he's going to be a lock in my
What
opinion.
position Jalen play?
They're both receiver.
Man, I was looking at 24/7. Is it 247 or something like that?
Yeah, people call it 240, 24/7, 247, 247. Yeah.
Man, did y'all not see the little high school dude who just ran the 200? He a receiver. He ran the 200 and he ran like a 20.7 or something like that. And he said he want to run. He said he want to run the Olympics and also play in the NFL.
I didn't see it.
Miami actually recruiting him too. Matter of fact, Miami actually recruiting him. That's who I want to see us get. I can't even think of his name. But bro, if you got speed like that, like you could cancel out a lot of things. Like I'm telling you, just to have somebody on the squad that could run straight ahead that fast, you take two people out of the play. Especially with a quarterback like Van Dyke that could actually throw the ball deep.
Right. You also need to catch the ball too, which I think is the most important part. Is just catching the ball first, and then
I think if you throw the ball deep 10 times and he get lucky and catch 6, we are. Like I'm being honest. Think about it. Like if you catch 60% of the passes you throw like deep, like people would say you're Randy Moss.
Randy Moss. I mean, what was he? You played with him 6'4", 6'6".
It ain't no Randy Mosses out there, but trust me.
I know. Yeah.
Listen. You talking about one person I never seen do anything bad? I'm talking about he golf good, he swim. Like I'm telling you, anything he wanted to be professional and he could have did it.
He was on the same high school basketball team with Jason Williams.
And Jason Williams, you heard what Jason Williams said about him?
What did he say?
If he wanted to play in the NBA, he could have. All he had to do is go to college for it.
They say he's probably the best receiver to play all time.
He is, in my opinion. In my opinion, he the best receiver I ever seen in my life.
Really?
Ever.
Wow. How about Andre Johnson? How was he as a player? Because I feel like he's a Hall of Fame receiver.
I do too.
I think that, like, honestly, he just wasn't with the best teams. And if he was with, like, the Patriots or just a team that made the playoffs all the time, like, contended for Super Bowls, I think he, like, just would have gotten a lot more exposure. And he was a quiet guy naturally, too. So he was away from the media. I thought he was really good.
Yeah. And the media is what's going to kill Dre. Like, mark my words. Like, Dre will get in, but Dre gonna get in just like T.O. You know what I mean? Like what T.O. like how T.O. did. Like T.O. was, T.O. got in on his like third try or something like that.
Yeah.
That's how Dre gonna be.
Okay. So, Brandon, where do you think Miami needs help in spring? Because we're getting guys from the transporter. We just got an edge rusher from UCLA, and he was supposed to be their best defensive player coming out next year for UCLA. That was a big pickup we got. He had like 5.5 forced fumbles. He had a few sacks. I mean, he's a very solid Power 5 football player. I think he's going to be a nice addition, plug-in starter, in my opinion, at Miami, or an impact player out on the edge. Where do you think we need help on? Julio was good too.
I don't know, man. I would say receiver. I would say we need to get a guaranteed receiver. But corner, we need a lockdown corner. We need one of them. Somebody we could push the system away from. But I actually think his name Couch.
Couch?
Yeah, 23 or something like that.
Yep, Couch.
Listen, my thing with him is I actually I love his game.
Okay.
Like, because he's not scared. Like, granted, yeah, he done gave up some passes, but he's not scared. Like, he reminds me of like a Brashad Breeland. He was one of my teammates who played Washington. He won the Super Bowl with Kansas City, but he's scrappy. You know what I mean? And people like that'll give you they all and stick their nose in there when they ain't got no business. Like, I open my arms to you, bro, because I love it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if he could ever get his confidence to where he was playing like the one game I watched him play, that he would be an animal.
Right. I get what you're saying. I feel like at times, though, like in a normal team, like a elite program, let's say your Ohio States, your Alabamas, Oklahoma's, Oklahoma's defense is usually awful, but they're always in the college football playoffs, let's say. I feel like we play a lot of guys out of position because we don't have the depth to have, for example, like, in my opinion, I think Couch should just play nickel. I think he should just play nickel. But we move him around on the outside. Tyreek Stevenson.
I don't know if I
nickel corner. As an NFL prospect, he's a nickel corner.
Stevenson?
I think Stevenson was just playing corner at Georgia. I'm sorry, nickel at Georgia. He was just playing nickel. And now at Miami, he's playing on the outside as well.
Couch, I could see what you're saying. But Stevenson, like, he's not that fast. So he need to be somewhere he could get help. And the hardest place to cover is literally in the slot. So I would probably put him on the outside too.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna give you like this is where they're gonna have a problem at. They got 3 safeties that need to be on the field at all times. Like, what do you do?
I think, wow. That's interesting because that's when the 4-2-5 kind of kicks in, because you can utilize someone on third down. You can bring in an extra safety.
Yeah, that's on third down, but they need to be on the field every play.
That's the thing, though. But that's when you just have a specialty guy. Like, hey, man, we're just going to bring you on third downs, or if someone's cramping, just got to rotate them in. It's tough. Or what if there's an injury?
Like, people got to get their feet. Like, listen, man, when you're an athlete like that, you can't, like, all this going in and out, in and out, in and out, that throws you off.
I agree. I do agree with that. But when you were playing, you had all these great players at every position. You just either have to wait your turn or
you do
ride the pine.
You do, and I get that. But all of them are freshmen together.
They got a year under the belt.
All 3 of them.
Yeah, I know.
So all of them gonna be sophomores. So who do you sit down and say,
I don't know.
Hey man, you're gonna have to wait these next 2 years. So
right.
You know what I mean? Like, who you do that to? Because honestly, 15 might be the best deep guy, the best deep safety we got.
Avante.
You know what I mean? He the best ball guy out of all 3 of them. Zero is the biggest. He the best playmaker out of all of them.
You kind of can use James everywhere.
And then you got Tufo. Tufo is the most electrifying out of all of them. Like, you gotta, like, tell me where you're going. Like, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you an example. Let me give you an example. So it was me, Sean T, Mo Sykes, right?
Right.
And Greg 3. So when I first got there, like I didn't get the concept of I was like, man, listen, I'm just better than everybody. But I didn't get the concept of like your work like yet. I didn't get the concept of like, yo, I gotta work hard to actually play. So I just was going in there like, man, I'm better than everybody, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? You put me in a spring game, I make a couple of flashy plays, I get a pick off of, Ken Dorsey and, knock the brakes off of Kellen Winslow. You know what I mean? Just, hey, make a couple of flashy plays, now my name getting called. But the problem with that is, now when it came time to play, they got Mo Sykes and Sean in there. I'm like, hold on, man, like, what's going on? And now that they got the transfer portal, like people ain't waiting like that, yo. So some got to give. And I personally think if I'm them, 2-4 or 15 gonna be my slot. They're gonna be my third because everybody now runs the spread offense. Right. Everybody now got 3 receivers on the field at all time.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm going to tell them. I'm gonna say 2-4 and 15. Hey, one of y'all gotta cover the slot. So y'all pick whoever want to be the slot. Y'all can rotate them. Y'all can do it however y'all want to do it. Because that's what Coach Shannon did to me. He came to me. He said, "Hey, Brandon, look, you want to play?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You got to cover the slot. So if you can't do that, let me know." So my whole career in college, I was covering the slot. Like even when I was the best safety on the team, I still was covering the slot.
Right.
But that's also what would push them into the first round too. Like everybody wanted safety that could cover.
Right. I mean, we'll see. It's a new coaching staff. You never know what Kevin Steele's thinking.
I don't.
You never know.
I don't. But that 4-2-5,
that's what he wants to run. He said.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him because you got like Zero is about the size of a linebacker anyway.
He's 6'5". He can play edge. You can put him on the edge.
My point. Like he
blitz him. Put your hands up.
Like honestly, he should be covering tight ends and blanking them. Like, yo, you got him. Period.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
Period. You got him. I don't care if he line up out there. I don't care if he line up in the backfield. You got him. If we need a whole field, you feeling it. Like ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Though he got to be that dog. Like regardless of how you want to look at it, if he not the dog that they think he is, then it's pointless.
Yeah, I think James Williams is going to be all over the field 24/7.
He got to be.
Has to be.
He literally should be the next Sean Taylor. Like should be.
Strong words. That's a tough legacy to live up to.
Listen, he's 6'5". Sean T was 6'3". Sean T ran a 4.3 though, and I think Buddy ran like a 4.5, 4.6.
Yeah, I mean 4.3. That's. I mean, here's the thing. There's like a high school 4.3 where you say you run a 4.3, and then your pro day in college is where the true numbers comes out. You know.
Right. Sean T ran a 4.37 in college.
What was your 40?
A 4.44.
Oh, okay.
I'm slow.
Pretty good. That's really good actually.
Nah, I was pretty slow.
All right. He's humble. Brandon's humble.
No. I'm just comparing myself to like my teammates. You know what I mean? Like it was who all came out with me. It was me, Beeson, Olsen. Granted, I'm way faster than them two. But
didn't DJ Williams run like a 4.3 or something crazy?
I think he ran a 4.4. He ran a high 4.4.
Which is pretty good. That's really good for a lineman.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Vilma ran a 4.5. Like then you got people like Helster who ran a 4.3. Then you got Sonoris Moss who ran a 4.3. Wow. You know what I mean? Like I got all these guys who ran a 4.3s, and I'm sitting here running a 4.4 like dog. Like, bro, I listen, you can't, it ain't nobody in my life gonna ever tell me I was faster than, and I believe it, ever.
All right, we got about 5 minutes left. Let's wrap it up with some questions. If you guys have questions, put in the chat. And we'll just play rapid fire. Marcus Enriquez asks, Brandon, you been to Green Tree yet? And are you going to any of the home games this year?
No, I haven't been to Green Tree yet. I'm gonna go to Green Tree during camp. I'm not a spring guy. You know what I mean? I think everybody put on in the spring. So no, but yes, I will go to at least about 3 of the home games this year. So yes.
I go to Florida
And
State.
let me fix something I said. First off, John, I'm not comparing him to Shanti.
Ooh.
I am not comparing anyone to Shanti, and I would never do that. I say he should be the next Shanti. I never said he gonna be Shanti. I said he could be the next Shanti. Like I want him to be similar in any statue to Shanti. I don't think he will be Shanti. I don't think nobody ever in life will ever be Shanti. Shit, not even me. I wasn't even close to being Shanti. But I do think, some of the traits Shanti had, Buddy has.
Jason Clutch says Brandon was a thumper. 5 Rings asks, how great was Devin Hester?
I don't even know how to answer that, man. Hester was tremendous.
I feel like he changed the position of special teams and punt
Oh,
return.
absolutely.
Like he changed it. Like people actually really thought it out. Like, we really need to take someone to, change it kind of was a part of the offense, it set your offense up for success, really.
Correct. Like Hester was so good to where like you literally couldn't determine how good he was. Yeah. Like he was I just seen somebody say Shanti was the Jim Brown for safeties. Hester is the Jim Brown of special teams. And to be honest with you, Hester might be the most athletic person I ever played with. Like he could have played receiver or corner. Like and actually been Pro Bowl player, Hall of Fame player at it.
Wow. And he didn't get in this year in the Hall of Fame, right?
Nah, he didn't get in this year.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it either.
Unbelievable. And you got to get in the Hall of Fame. We're waiting for that one.
Yeah, man. I'm actually when I go down there, I'm gonna start saying that too. As soon as I get and Beeson said he already down there saying we should get in together, so we'll see.
Oh man, what's funny, Beeson? I think we talked about linebacker play, and he's like I said, number 44. He mentioned Colin McCarthy. I'm like, why no love to Dan Morgan? He never mentioned Dan Morgan as like one of the great linebackers at Miami. Maybe he just missed him, but
yeah, no. Dan is second to none. You know what I mean? Dan is that guy.
Good. Yeah,
he is. I can't even lie to you. Like Dan is he like set the staple. You know what I mean, for Miami. Like everybody want to say it's Ray and all these other people, but Dan did his thing too.
Kevin says, we have a great coaching staff. So ready to see these young guys get to work and compete for the Coastal. Now, I'm all for it. We got to win the Coastal. I don't care if it's year 1, year 10. We got to win it this year. I'm sorry. There's nobody in our league.
The problem is, man, our team been losing so much to where you got to get that losing mentality out. So us putting the pressure on them to win now is just because the coaching staff is unfair to the coaching staff. Like they gotta weed out the bad seeds and do all this. They gotta. It's a lot of people that's on that staff that need to leave before, we start saying, we're competing for the ACC and all this. But yeah, I agree. I do think we will win the Coastal. And a lot of people keep thinking I'm saying I'm crazy, but I think we're going to beat Texas A&M too.
I think we're going to split one, Clemson and Texas A&M. If we sweep both, if we win both, I'd be very surprised, but I'd be really happy. I would be scary happy.
I think we beat Texas A&M. Second game. What is it, second game of the season or third?
Second, I think.
Right. We beat Texas A&M second game of the season,
I hate those early games too.
and then we lose to Clemson. But
Yeah,
then we
it's at
beat
the
Clemson.
end.
Then we beat Clemson in the ACC championship game.
Yeah, it's tough to beat a team twice in the same.
Correct.
It's very difficult. So that might work out. And it's a win in Death Valley. I mean, you guys went after them triple overtime. Kenny Phillips, redshirt freshman, I think, or freshman year.
Yeah.
You got a INT to win the game in triple overtime. I mean, it's tough to play there. It's tough.
Yep.
All right. Well, hey, we greatly appreciate everyone hopping on the Brandon and Scoop show. It's a pleasure getting back on with Brandon, and we're gonna have some great content coming back up next week. So everyone have a great rest of your night and always.
Yes, sir. Let's
Okay.
go.